Bonsoir tout le monde, il est 7 heures.
Good evening, everyone. It is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Does anybody wish to make a motion to adopt the agenda? Thank you, Mr. Warden. It's not our usual practice, but if you allow, I would like to add a new item under correspondence, item 9.3. Denise Camon Deshotel, President of the Bangor Development Commission. If you all agree, we need a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor DeVoe. All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. Item 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Does anybody have any conflict with any item this evening? No? We are going to item 4, the consolidated financial statements. Thank you. So you have in front of you the consolidated financial statement as of March 31st, 2025. We started the non-consolidated statements also, and we passed in detail the financial statements, consolidated and not consolidated, and I will present it, but we will only present the consolidated statements. It includes all the amounts of the municipality. The first one is the independent auditor's report. That's where we express our opinion. We have our own opinion this year. We found nothing in the audit that would change the report. In the first paragraph, we only explain that it's the audit of the consolidated audited report as of March 31st. In the second one, it is our opinion that in all significant aspects on the financial situation of Clare as of March 2025. The next other section is basis for opinion. We must follow the norms established by Canada, and all the proofs that we obtained allows us to give our opinion. The next section, where we explain from page 24 to 21, it includes supplementary information that is not according to the norms. The next section is the responsibilities of management and governance. The responsibility of the governance is to establish the report according to the public accounting standards and the internal accounting. The other role is the capacity of the municipality to continue its activities, and with the growing concerned motion. The audit committee and the council's role is to watch over all the activities. On page 2, you see the responsibilities we have as auditors. Our objective is to bring an opinion. To bring the opinion, we used a reasonable assumption that there is no error. We did not look at all the transactions during the year, so we identify and evaluate the operations with more risks. As part of the process, we do not give an opinion on the external activities. We also identify the things that you look at, and we have not found anything that we need to modify our opinion. On page 3 is the standards that the municipality takes responsibility for the financial statements. That has not changed from last year, so I will not go through it in detail. And for page 4, it is the consolidated statements, which is the revenues and expenses for all funds. In the budget, it might appear different from what you are used to, but to be conform with the norms, we needed to add the amortization and look at the third-party activities. So I will go through the revenues and expenses. The revenues was $15,031,077. For the budget was $15,556,112, and last year it was $11,399,687. So we had an increase of the budget of $555,000, and compared to last year we had $4 million. So I will just go through these sections that changes significantly. So for the taxes section, it's $7.5 million last year, $8.2 this year. So an increase of $770. The tax rates did not change. The tax rate did not change, but there was an increase in the property evaluations, and the deed transfer tax continued to increase this year. If we look at the grants in lieu of taxes, that has not changed compared to last year or the budget. Service provided increased by $84,000 from last year, and that is the tipping fees for the landfill, who continue to increase because there is more volume during the year. The section under other revenue was $588,000 this year, and it was $652,000. So there's a difference of $53,000. So it's a decrease. For the budget, the rent was less than anticipated because of the doctors. So compared to last year, that was the Grand Fondo during the 2024 and the Terra Fondo in 2025. So there were less costs in 2025. So under unconditional transfers, it did not change significantly, and the conditional transfers was $1.9 million last year and $5.2 million this year, so an increase of $3.2 million. The biggest categories in this balance was $1.9 million for the Clare Veterans Center, $2.1 million for the Mitaken Sidewalk, and $760,000 for the grant received for the Clare Health Center. The next section was the interest, was $464,000 and $234 on the budget. So the difference is $232,000, and because the budget only has the interest sections. So this is the section for revenue. In expenses, the expenses were $11,000,007 and $10,148,000 last year, so it's a reduction of $623,000 compared to the budget, and an increase of $800,000 compared to last year. So under general government expenses, it increased last year by $166,000. That's because you had an election in 2025 and also salary increases. The two other sections, protective services, transportation services, have not changed from last year to the budget. The environmental health was $2.1 million last year and $2.4 million, so an increase of $288,000. This increase is because the rate in Queen have increased, and also the treatment plant in Mitaken increased. So the public health and welfare is $1.2 million last year and $1.6 million this year, so an increase of $387,000, and that's because there was an interest cost for the Clare Health Center, which was $340,000 this year, and also the operation costs increased by $223,000 compared to last year. But you have the help of the Tri-County Medical. And the last two sections have not changed significantly. So these are the revenues and expenses. Now the annual surplus is $4,548,431, which is a surprise, but that's because of all the capital grants that you received this year. And the next two sections are only a gain on the aero liability and the disposition of the old Clare Health Center for a surplus of $454,000. So we had a surplus of $126,000, and you now have $24,548. On page 5, we have the assets. If you start with these financial assets, these are convertible in money. If we start in the first section, it increased a bit compared to last year, and that is the account where you had a tax sale surplus. The unrestricted cash was $6.8 million, $7.2 this year, an increase of $420,000. In the balance, you have $823 in deferred revenue, and depending on specific projects that were received. The next section for the taxes have diminished from the assessments, and that increased this year because you kept the receivables lower. The special assessments did not change, due from general government and its agents. That's the HST that you will receive after the fiscal year. And then the other receivables is $130,000 last year and $341 this year, for an increase of $211,000. In this category, you have a capital grant of $56,000 and $120,000 for the grant from the Nova Scotia Community Health. So in this balance, you also have the deed transfer tax. So in your financial assets was $7.9 million last year and $8.6 million this year, for an increase of $650,000. If you look at the financial liability, the payables have not changed significantly compared to last year, but I just want to mention the biggest parts of a balance of $1.7 million. You had Birth construction of $663, Garian construction $320,000, Rajax $182,000, interest from $100,000, and other few balances from Queens and balances to pay at the end of the year. The next sections have not changed. So the next section of long-term debt was $1.3 million last year and $8.1 million this year, so an increase of $6.8 million. That's because you had another debt of $600 million. The temporary borrowing was about $2,000, so you have occurred during the year. The deferred revenue was $1.7 million last year and $853,000, for a reduction of $853,000. In that balance, it increased the Canada Building Fund of $300,000, sustainable of $500,000, and the reduction compared to last year is mostly the municipal grant that was used this year. The tax sale surplus has not changed significantly. So the financial liabilities was $8.5 million last year and $11.9 million this year, so an increase of $3.3 million. So you have a net debt of $3.2 million compared to last year. It was $575,000, so an increase of $2.7 million, and that's because you have a lot of debt this year. The next section, non-financial assets, that's the tangible assets. It was 17.5 last year and 25.266 this year, for an increase of 7.7 million. So the biggest additions to this category was 2.5 million for the Clare Health Center and the Clare Veteran Center. Veteran Center 2.7, Mitagan Sidewalk 2.9 million. You bought a Dodge RAM for $55,000. You have equipment for $104,000, and you have a piece of land at the Cape. So the total purchases were $8.5 million. So you also had the former building of the Clare Health Center. So the Metaken Sandwalk, you had $2 million. Clare's Health Center, $2 million, and the Clare Health Center, $200,000 this year. The next category is the other non-financial assets is 2.9 this year, for a reduction of 200 and some $1,000 this year, which is the amortization. So your accumulated surplus is 24,948.37. So if you look at page 6, is the financial asset statements. If you look at the annual surplus of 4.5 million, that's the results of the income from the preceding pages. And then you have the acquisition of tangible assets. That includes the loss in the tangible capital, which is a reduction net of 2,694,000, and the number will continue to go down because the municipality has invested quite a bit this year. So you started with a net debt of 575,000, and now you are at 3,269,000. So if we go to page 7, the consolidated of cash flow, it includes all the entrances and cash flow. If you look at the annual surplus of 4.5 million, and we add all the assets, I will not go into detail of each item because it's all the results of the pages we already saw. So at the end of the year, you have a balance of 7,717,28, and you increased it this year by $535,000 this year. So if we go to page 8, the pages in the and this report are all the notes. We already looked at the notes with the audit committee, and we do not need to go through them this evening unless you have any questions.
Thank you for the nice report. It's very well detailed. Do you have any questions or comments from the councillors? Councillor DeVoe, thank you. It's not a question. I just want to thank you for your work. It was easy to understand, and it was, I think we're heading in the right directions, and we thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? That's all. Thank you very much. This brings us to number 5, the adoption of minutes. There's 5.1, the July 23rd, 2025 regular council meeting. Is there anybody has seen errors or omissions in this report? If not, some was proposed by Councillor Hill and seconded by Councillor Cooper. All those in favor? Motion carried. September 3rd, we had our council and committee meeting. Same thing. Are there any errors or omissions in this report? Proposed by Councillor Cooper, seconded by Councillor DeVoe. Motion carried. 6, business arising from previous council meetings. We have nothing there. So it brings me to my report. I have a short report. I'm on my second page. On July 27th, I went to a financial announcement for accident to New France. They received financing to do an interpretive center in their Weymouth building. So we were there for the announcement of the funding reserve. On the 26th of July, I went at the opening of the 70th Acadian Festival. It was a very nice evening. On the 27th of July, I participated in the parade of the festival. That was nice. And we won one of the prizes. And July 31st, I went to help to thank people who have contributed to the Clare Center. On August 1st, I went to the Belleville Motors golf tournament. On August 15th, I went to the Rendezvous de Bay, when the flag was put up, and right after that there was the cultural exhibit. There were culinary exhibits, celebrating music, dance, and Acadian food. There was about 30 people who were exposing their wares there, and it was a really nice activity, and there was a lot of councillors who went. And September 3rd, I met Ray Trahan and his wife to discuss the Grand Reveil 25 in Louisiana. They wanted to invite us to go to their. They had done one in 2023, and they have another one lined up for 2025. So they're inviting us to go. So we had already sent a letter to La Fourche Paris that we could not go there this year. On September 9th, I met a meeting with the Justice Minister to discuss the services of police activities in the province. She described what would be their next stages of different positions, of how they can help the RCMP to offer services in the communities. It was like a touch base, and there will be changes in the future. The 11th of September, I went to a meeting of the committee to revise our financial report that was presented this evening. And on the 14th of September, I went to the Grand Fondo that the departure. So there was a lot of people, and it was perfect weather for the Grand Fondo. It was a really nice event. Are there any questions or comments on my report?
Sure.
Okay.
That concludes that. That brings us to item 8, official statements from members of councils. Do you have any official presentation this evening? No? That's good. So we are at 9, correspondence. 9.1, Alistair Surratt, President of the CMA 2024. This is a letter addressed to Mr. Mark Pina for the foundation of CMA, and we received a copy. Mr. Pina, almost a year ago, the CMA 2024 was at the southwestern Nova Scotia and welcomed Acadians in fraternity and celebration. The organizing committee of CMA 2004 arrives at the end of its operations and must disperse the surplus according to the protocol with the SNA. The COCMA must bring its surplus to the SNA Foundation to support specific project. After discussions between the CMA and the SNA and adopted at the AGA of the meeting, the following surplus of $234,000 must be given as follows. Municipality of Argyle, $70,000. Municipality of Clare, $70,000. For the Société Nationale, $70,000 for its general operations. The National Foundation must determine how the balance will be given. The funds must support projects that touches l'Acadie and the Francophonie and must present a durable impact. And a transfer of funds will be effected in August 2025. When the funds will be received by the foundation, please send a confirmation of your deposit. We thank you in advance. We did receive the funds and we did send the reply to the foundation. Any questions or comments on this? No? Okay. We are up to 9.2. Paul Offrey and Walter Como, the Voyage Positif, positive trips. Mr. LeBlanc and Mr. Cyr, we had the pleasure of attending the celebrations of 15 and 16 of August with the Tintamarre and the August 15th and the beach bash at Belleville's Cove, and as well as the ceremony of their flag raising. As we go every year to Baie Sainte-Marie for the festivities of the August 15th, we confirm that this is a refreshing event. We are very appreciated by ourselves and by the members of the community. Congratulations. These new activities has inspired us to organize for 2026 a bus trip from New Brunswick with a group of 54 Acadians. We have already established discussions with organizations of the community to plan this project. We have some details to include. Our hope is to be there at the flag raising and the mass of August 15th, as well as the Tintamarre. But as the mass is at 10 o'clock and the flag raising at 10 and the mass at 11, it is impossible for us to participate. We would like to propose that the flag raising be held at 9:30, and that the changes will not help not only our group to assist the two celebrations, but also this possibility for the whole community. And hoping for a favorable answer to our request, we thank you for your disposition. So I already consulted with the staff in our community development, and we will be able to accept this request from from these two gentlemen, and it will be done next year. A letter will come out shortly to respond to this Mr. Offreys and Como, and we want to thank them for their interest, and also that we will be able to accommodate them. It is a small thing for us, but it helps them a bit. So we are happy to welcome them. Any questions or comments on this? You will have to set your alarm half an hour earlier on the 15th. 9.3, Denise Command des Hôtels from the Bangor Development Commission. The members of the board of the commission want to thank the Municipal Council of Clare, as we were presented in front of you on September 10th. When the river was leaking and we were suffering from drought in the river. So this money that you received will help us to repair the dam. And today we are happy to announce a happy news. Since this morning on September 17, 2025, the repair works are in place. The dam is being stabilized, the level of the river is stabilized, and our water supply is secured in preparation for the winter. And we thank you for allowing us to do this work, and we appreciate your help for this local resources. Signed, Denise Comeau. Any questions or comments on this?
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I passed there quite a few times and I saw that the dam is open. So the water passes through, which is a good sign that it's a good sign that the work will be accomplished in a positive way. Are there any questions or comments? I think there was a small window of opportunities there to do it, and it was taken advantage of. So now we have the CEO report. Okay, I will try to do this report. So I'll talk about for the expansion of the medical center. The project is coming to an end. The lift is open to the public, and our sidewalks next to the building is finished, as well as the landscaping. We do some acoustic testing in the new section of the building, and we have solutions proposed to try to reach the reading of SPC 50. So we have a solution proposed that we will be implementing shortly. We're working on a report that for deficiencies which is the norm for projects with this scope. Everything is going ahead well. So we're also preparing what we call operations maintenance manual for the maintenance of the building, which will be involve some workshops for the personnel there, and all the documentation that will be necessary to close up this project. For what happens with the operation of the center, in September we had about 100% of almost 100% of the residents of Clare have their own doctor. Yesterday there was 80 persons in the waiting list that did not have any doctor. Out of these 84 persons, 22 were contacted to match them with a doctor, and there's 62 that are left that we're trying to contact, or that will be contacted soon. With the people we have working there, we have the possibility to take new patients, so it's a question to join them, to reach them. And also another good news regarding the medical center, the Nova Scotia College of Commissions have a banquet every year to recognize doctors and people across the province who contribute to the health of the people in their regions and in the province. Some of the prizes that were announced, Team-Based Family Practice Award. That's the first time that the college offers this prize, and I'm glad to say that the medical center in Meteghan has won that prize. There will be a banquet on the 17th of October for all the people who were honored by the college, including our medical center, and there would be certain doctors, and the warden will be there to accept the prize. It is quite a good honor. For the Veteran Center here, the project is going well. The parking is completed. There's a bit of work left to do inside. The cement floor in the studio, we're grinding it now to prepare the installation of our new subfloor. Also, we did some acoustic testing there, and we're looking at sound dampening, because if you know that the old dance studio, the people who had step dancing made a lot of noise, so we were trying to have something that's good to kind of amortize this noise. For which is the paint and the ceramic inside the building, it's all complete. The testing S1001, the fire alarm, and that has been done today. And as far as the new kitchen is concerned, the equipment is on place and they're partially installed. We're waiting for our countertops. Right now there are 2 or 3 items that have not arrived yet. It's not a big job when they come in. We think they will be here within the next week. Also, they're doing a list of deficiencies. Bird is doing the preparation for commissioning of the building. Daniel Ryan and company, the final expansions of Nova Scotia Power scheduled for the 22nd of September, and we hope that our occupancy permit will arrive on the 24th of September. It's a bit ambitious, but we think everything will fall into place for those dates. For our expansion of the Smithhaven Sewer System Extension Project, I will talk about it later on when we go under 12.3. If you want, I will discuss this point a bit later on this evening. For the sidewalks in Smithhaven, I had mentioned that the project is complete. There's a little bit of a deficiency to address. We're still waiting on Aberdeen to put the asphalt on the main road. I do not have a date right now, since Aberdeen is doing the paving at the Veteran Centre. I hope that they can do the asphalt in Smithhaven, but unfortunately that did not happen. There's also a couple of the hydro seeding did not work on certain properties along the sidewalks, so I received a few phone calls. So there's not much. I agree that some of these has to be fixed. When we start having a bit more rain, we'll be able to fix this. For the land use bylaw and planning strategy, the comments that were made during the public meeting on the 27th of May has been incorporated in the new documents. Most of them were incorporated, and the documents have been revised and submitted to our staff here that are evaluating it. The intention is still to have another public session to discuss the reports. We hope to do this. We're trying to do this in October, and then have a public hearing and pass this law. Those two, the bylaw and the land use, was the first reading in November and the second reading in December, and if not, it would be in January. Our active transportation plan, as you know, the tender has been given to outline planning and design of the amount of 69,000. We also have a first meeting with Uplands here on the 27th of August, which included certain, they're already very familiar with the municipalities, so their first visit here in the meeting was quite profitable. They're presented in they're developing an inventory of a collection would be the base for this. There's an aspect of the project that will include an engagement of community residents. This will be done in the coming weeks. There will be a survey online, and the consultations also with certain people in the municipalities, including the youth at the high school, and also the staff here at the council members. So the bathrooms at the Josef and Marie du Gras, it's going ahead very slowly, but it's going ahead. They put the slab in the last weekend, and the framing is supposed to start tomorrow for the walls. The trusses have been ordered, and they should arrive next week. And the contractor, their intention is to have this done by the 29th of September. We hope this will not change and that this will be finished soon.
You have seen, on the other side of the road from the park at the Cove, we have our plant for the treatment plant for the building. Will have a new generator. The building is completed. We were waiting for the transfer switch to be able to complete this work and connect our generator. We had some bad news last year. The transfer switch was on back order and should have arrived in October, will be delayed by 14-15 weeks. So we are looking at the month of December to complete this little bit that remains of this project. For the Clare Acadian initiatives 25-27, the warden mentioned in his report the cultural exposition in August as part of that project. The event took place August 15th, 16th, and I had the chance to participate, and from what I heard and what people told me, it was a big success. I think the public liked the event. The comments were very positive. There were 31 kiosks, and 5 were just promotions for the municipality and groups. So we estimate over 800 people attended the cultural expo during the weekend, and the first day there was 450 and 350 on Saturday. As part of the tourism experience initiative, we will have other programs and projects that will fall into place in the fall. The Veterans Banner Program, the deadline was pushed forward by a week to September 5th, and that's now closed. We received 16 applications for banners. All the applications were sent to the design team and with the supplier of the banners. So there is discussion back and forth to finalize the discussion with the families interested in the program. The goal is to have all this completed by next weekend so we can place the order and fabricate the banners. So that goes well. The banners will be put at the posts in front of the Veteran Center. You have seen here, besides the building, that we started our new building to store equipment. The work started last week. It's only the excavation, but presently we are waiting for the contractor for the cement. It's not easy to have this time of the year, but Delmar is trying to get it as quickly as possible, but we might be waiting until the end of October to have it. So it's a fall rush for cement. Apparently everybody's going. The framing will start shortly in October. The trusses have been ordered, and the idea from there would be roof tight for the beginning of November. So it will go forward rather quickly. We had the Grand Fondo over the weekend on September 14th. This year we had 669 people who registered. On the day that number went down to 500, so we had 594 participants in the event. Around 200 of these people were from outside Nova Scotia. So there again, I received very favorable comments on the organization, and there was no accident this year, which is a good thing. And finally, to have a comment that we had received from our last meeting 2 weeks ago, comments from the public last weekend. I sent the some members of the staff to go do the renovations to the park. They went for a visit to look at the boat launch. It is a good time because time is going by, but according to them, the contractor, the easiest solution and cost effective is to pour a new block and to push it to the left of the present block and to extend it by another 6 feet, because it is now the water in the lake is so low that it is hard to use. But we will have an estimate of the costs for that work. Unfortunately, according to the Department of Environment of Nova Scotia, the work must be done before the 30th of September. It will be impossible for us, so what we will do is plan for this project and prepare for it to launch it at the next spring. So while waiting, the kayak launch that is there now, that causes the people to have it at an angle when they park, but we close that in the fall anyway, so it'll be closed for this year. So we are waiting for a cost estimate and the approval of council, and we will bring this next spring. And finally, at the financial level, as of August 31st, 2025, the municipality recorded $12,434,536 in revenue versus $5,522,574 in expenses, for an operation surplus of $6,911,962. Again, as of August 31st, 2025, the municipality had a balance of $7,688,403 in its operating fund, $298,820 in its capital fund, and a total in reserve balance of $2,574,075. So that is my report for this evening. I don't know if you have any questions. Questions or comments on the report? No? Thank you for the overview of our projects. So we are at item 11. Committee reports, the audit committee. Councillor Hill.
The audit committee met with the auditors Stone Grant Thornton on September 11th, 2025 to thoroughly review the municipality's 2024-2025 audited financial statements. During this meeting, the auditors highlighted the municipality's sound financial position, as well as the cooperation they received from both management and staff throughout their audit engagement. The auditors once again gave the municipality a clean audit opinion. In light of this opinion, the audit committee is making the following two recommendations for council's consideration: that the annual operating surplus of $785,203 for the 2024-2025 fiscal year be transferred from the operating fund to the operating reserve. That number two, that the municipality of the District of Clare approve the 2024-2025 audited financial statements for the municipality of the District of Clare as prepared by Stone Grant Thornton. I'd also like to say that Stefan and Christiane should be commended on all the hard work they did, working with the auditors and also all the staff.
Thank you for that, Councillor Hill. Any questions or comments? If not, we will place the motions later in under new business. So we are at 11.2, waste check. Councillor DeVoe. Thank you, Mr. Warden. We had a meeting yesterday, September 16th. It was, I attended as well as Mr. Pache, our deputy warden, and as well as Mr. Sear, our CEO. As usual, we talked about a few things, but the important things I'd like to mention is we made another order for green cards at the amount of $120,610, which is still a big amount. I think it's the third or fourth order we do this year. This order was for 1,400 green cards. So this will not last. That's gone as soon as they arrive because the people use it, which is good. They are using the green cards. Then they still have some older ones that they had at the beginning, and they are starting to deteriorate. So we need green cards if we want the people to participate in the program. And it costs. Now we are ordering the green cards. Before it was ordered from the States, and now we do not order them from the States, but from Canada, specifically from Quebec, because they're the only ones who do green cards as we want them. So that's it. The green cards finally have been ordered from Canada. Another thing I would like to note is to be clear for the public, the paint cans, after they have been used and there is still paint in it, we bring them to our depot in Metegan Center, where we go to bring the bottle depot. So the covers must be on the paint can, as well as the paper all around to indicate that it is paint and which kind it is. So I would like to say also that the paint cans that are empty with nothing in them, but it was paint, if they are empty with the cover on it and the paper all around, they must also go to the depot, even if there's no paint in it. So there are, I heard people saying that no, it doesn't have to go there, it goes in the clear bags or to the dump. But no, the cans that are empty with the cover on them and the paper all around go to the depot also. So that's it.
So we have also spoke about the to APR. And APR, I'd like to give the Mr. Seal to speak a bit where it's where we're at with the EPR. Thank you. All the EPR, the province has decided to go ahead with the program of EPR, Excellence, Produce and Responsibility. The person who's doing this is provincial level. It's an agglomeration of different companies that produce things that the consumers buy, products, a lot of things that can be recycled. But right now it is done, but the cost to recycle these falls on the on the municipalities. So EPR, these funds will not fall upon the residents of Nova Scotia, but will be absorbed by the company who fabricate these items. This being said, actually right now this material has circulated certain contracts to the 49 municipalities in the province, and 3 of them have opted to opt out of this and not participate in the EPR program. It is not something that's required to the other 46 municipalities, including ours, have expressed that they are certainly interested in this program, and what it will do, it will offset our costs when it comes to the collect of garbage, the evaluations and the contrast is now being worked out. I am discussing with my colleagues quite regularly. I spoke to the director of the municipality of Digby today. They're in the same situation as we are, and both of our contracts are very similar, and our populations are quite similar. So we each have our own transfer station. Where the discussions will continue, and circular materials, they would like the contracts to be signed yesterday, but there's still work to be done, and I have not seen anything now that would prevent me from the recommendation to go ahead. But administrative point of view, there will be a lot of work that has to be done, because it's different than what we are operating now. So this being said, after when we go over the learning curve, initial learning curve, I think we will be well off. Like I said, I'm still in the process of evaluating and revising the contracts involved, but I think we'll be able in October to present a recommendation for you in October and enter the contract. I imagine other municipalities will also try to do something similar. Circular Materials would like to have all the contracts signed at the latest. It's supposed to start in December, so the earlier we can have this signed and confirmed with them, it's better for them. This being said, and from what I'm seeing and hearing across the province, it's something positive, but we want to assure ourselves before we sign the contract that everybody understands exactly what they're getting into. The first contract will be an 18-month contract. This is something that we're not satisfied with this, and that we want eventually to, we would have the opportunity after 18 months, if we're not satisfied, to get out of the contract. But after that it will go ahead. It is something that a lot of people across the province, like WasteCheck and other, are pushing for this, and I think it's really a good thing, and it can assure us that we have a contract that works not only for circular materials but for other materials also. So stay tuned, this is a work in progress. Let's just finish the report. Are there questions or comments on this? So this brings us to number 12, new business. 12.1, motion to transfer from the operating fund to the operational reserve. This is the two recommendations that have been done by the committee of, is there somebody who wants to do this? Councillor Bruno. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare transfer the annual operating surplus of 785,203 for the 2024-2025 fiscal year from the operating fund to the operating reserve. Proposed by Councillor Como, seconded by Councillor Hill. Again, for, and the motion carried. 12.2, motion to approve the audited financial statements for 2024-25. This is the second recommendation of Councillor Hill.
Municipality of the District of Clare approve the 2024-2025 audited financial statements for the municipality of the District of Clare as prepared by Dome Grant Thornton.
Proposed by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor Evans. All those in favour, against, motion carried. 12.2, motion to award a tender for sanitary services for 8478 Highway 1. Thank you. This is, we have launched a tender to prolong the sanitary services in Metegan, more specifically to the 8478. This is a project by Malta Holding, which foresees the building of housing, affordable housing for the Metegan area. To allow the project to go forward, we have to do an extension for our sewer system, and this is essentially our contribution to this project. It's to create a conditions to facilitate the construction of these new homes. To do so, we launched a tender and we received 6 submissions, 5 submissions rather, and they were all reputable companies. 4 out of 5 them we have been dealing with regularly after studying the submissions with our staff and from engineers that we hired to EXP to see this. We recommend, the municipality recommends an EXP that we accept of DeVos dirt work at the amount of 73,959 plus HST. Are there any questions or comments on this? I think this submission was good and I'm ready to do the motion. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare award the tender for 8478 Highway 1 sanitary services to DeVos Dirt Works Limited in the amount of 73,959 plus HST, and that these funds be taken from the municipality's capital reserve.
Moved by Deputy Warden Pache, seconded by Conseiller Camo. All those in favor? Against? Motion carried. Just for your information, now that the motion has been officially approved, we received our breaking of soil permits from the province to start the work, because an integral part is that we have to work on the right-of-way of the province to put a manhole across the road. So now we have the permit to do that. The manhole has been ordered, but it's not here yet. But as soon as we receive it, the project will start. But while waiting, they are grubbing on the land from Mathieu Holding to start the sewer system. So we will start to have movement on that site shortly, which is a good thing because we have been waiting for this project for a while. For the manhole, we will need to cut in on the road, so we think that everything can be done on a day, so it will not bother the people in the area, we hope. As long as I missed that. Any questions or comments on this? We are up to 12.4, motion to appoint community representatives for the Police Advisory Board. The advisory board for the police for the municipality of Clare has 3 members of the councils, 3 people from the community, and 1 member elected by the MS. But two of our community members are not there. One, Jocelyn Leblanc, has finished her term after many years, and then John Chant resigned. So we have 2 openings for the committee. So to fill these positions, we had an expression of interest to see if people in the community are interested to join the committee. We had a very good response. We had 10 people who expressed their interest to join the committee. So we evaluated the 10 submissions, and it is the recommendation after revision of the members of the council as well as mine that we accept that we nominate Claude Belliot and Isaac Comeau to the municipality's police advisory board. Questions or comments on this? If not, Councillor Cooper. I am ready to make the motion, so I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare appoint Claude Belliveau and Isaac Comeau to the municipality's Police Advisory Board. Moved by Councillor Conseiller Cooper, seconded by Comeau. Any questions? Motion carried. 12.5, we have the word in French for water bombers, avion bombardier. So, Councillor Hill, this is something that you asked for. Do you want to discuss or make the motion?
Forest fire situation is getting worse every year in the province. Everybody knows it. It's getting drier every year, and it's kind of ridiculous to borrow planes from, the Northwest Territories and other provinces to help. I mean, I think we should have our own. And to get the ball rolling, to order them now, we should, because I think they said it could take 5 years before you even get the plane. So I just think we should make the motion and write a letter to Kim Maslin and see if she can get something going. I'll make the motion now. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare send a letter to the Honorable Kim Maslin, Minister of Emergency Management, advocating for the purchase of water bomber planes to build the province's airborne firefighting capacity.
Moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Conseiller Evans. All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. 12.6, a motion to approve a funding contribution to the Bangor Development Commission. So this we already discussed earlier tonight, but we need an official motion to approve the $10,000 for information for the people in the hall and on air. Madame Comeau des Hôtels had made the request for financial assistance to help with the leak at the dam at the former mill in Bangor. Council has decided to support this request and made a motion that we give a contribution of $10,000. Normally, an official motion would be done 2 weeks later, but this is what we are doing tonight. But because of the urgency of the situation and the limited time that the group had to complete the work because of the deadline imposed by the province, which is September 30th, we made an exception and allowed the commission to go forward with the work as soon as possible, knowing that the motion would be passed only this evening. It's not a normal way to proceed, but council was unanimous in that support to give them the help. We decided to go forward with this. So I think we need a motion in the books, and it is my recommendation that we have a formal motion to grant $10,000 to the Bangor Development Commission. Questions or comments on this? Councillor Poche? Last Sunday they had a fundraising, and it was unbelievable the number of people that were there. They worked hard for this, and I'm glad to make the motion. I move that the Council for the Municipality of the District of Clare contribute $10,000 to the Bangor Development Commission for needed repairs to the dam at the site of the former Bangor Sawmill and Museum, and that these funds be taken from the municipality's Grant to Organizations program. Moved by Deputy Warden Poche, seconded by Councillor DeVoe. All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. So that concludes item 12 under new business. That brings us to 13. Closed session. We have 2 items, 13.1 acquisition and sale of municipal property, and 13.2 personnel matters. Before I ask for a motion to go in camera, the date of our next regular council meeting will be Wednesday, October 15th at 7 p.m. So that being said, we need a motion to go forward. Moved by Conseiller Comeau, seconded by Conseiller Evans. All those in favor? Against? Motion is carried. And good evening, everyone.